The next day, Lennie and George make their way to the ranch bunkhouse, where they are greeted by Candy, an aging swamper or handyman who has lost his right hand. The bunkhouse is an unadorned building where the men sleep on burlap ticking and keep their few possessions in apple boxes that have been nailed to the walls. George is dismayed to find a can of lice powder in his bunk, but Candy assures him that he's in no danger of being infested, since the man who slept there before George was remarkably clean. George asks about the boss, and Candy reports that although the boss was angry that George and Lennie did not arrive the previous night as he had expected them to, he can be a pretty nice fella. Candy relates how the boss gave the men a gallon of whiskey for Christmas, which immediately impresses George. The boss appears and questions the pair about their late arrival. George blames it on the bus driver, who, he claims, lied to them about their proximity to the ranch. When the boss asks about their skills in previous employment, George speaks for Lennie to prevent him from revealing his lack of intelligence. When Lennie momentarily forgets George's instructions and speaks, George becomes visibly nervous. Their behavior strikes the boss as suspicious, and he asks why George feels the need to take such good care of his companion. He wonders if George is taking advantage of a man who lacks the facilities to take care of himself. George replies that Lennie is his cousin and was kicked in the head by a horse when he was young, so George has to look out for him. The boss remains suspicious and warns George not to try to pull anything over on him. Nonetheless, they are assigned to one of the grain teams working under a man named Slim. Once the boss leaves the bunkhouse, George berates Lennie for having spoken up.